Sometimes, the world feels like it's against you. As a single dad, working endless hours just to keep my little family afloat, I was used to judgmental glances and whispers of doubt. But I never imagined that a simple walk into a high-end boutique could show me just how quick people are to judge, and how one single action could change everything. That day started like any other. Fatigue weighed heavily on my shoulders, my worn shoes reminding me of every hard step I'd taken to keep my daughter safe and happy. I only wanted something simple, a moment to myself, maybe just to observe. I entered the boutique cautiously, avoiding eye contact, feeling the curious stares and hidden smirks that everyone seemed to share. The space was elegant, modern, filled with light and vibrant colors, a cruel contrast to my tired state and simple clothes. Everyone laughed inwardly, or so it seemed. I felt small, invisible. But what no one expected, not even me, was that this day would become something no one in the store would ever forget. I was about to learn a powerful lesson about humanity, judgment, and surprise, but the full story would only unfold when the boutique owner made a move no one could have anticipated. I approached the boutique door with slumped shoulders and downcast eyes. The chill of the morning mixed with the warmth of the luxurious interior, creating an almost absurd contrast. Each window displayed expensive clothing, impeccable shoes, and handbags I could only dream of owning. As I stepped inside, I felt the stares. Not subtle, not polite. They weighed on me, judging every detail of my tired face, my simple shirt, my worn backpack. Shame crept in, but I tried to ignore it. My daughter always said, "Daddy, you're strong." I needed to believe that, at least in that moment. Walking between the racks, I heard soft, stifled laughter. I couldn't be sure, but it felt like everyone, staff and customers, was talking about me. Every step echoed in the elegant boutique, highlighting the gap between my world and this luxury. A young saleswoman caught my eye. There was no malice, only curiosity, maybe even a hint of sympathy. But before I could interact, firm footsteps approached. All the laughter stopped. The boutique owner appeared, and something in his gaze changed the room's atmosphere. I didn't know what he would do. Kick me out. Ignore me. Or, do something that would leave everyone speechless. The tension was palpable. And I realized that this day was about to change everything, for me, and for everyone around. Chapter 2, The Awkward Moments. Every step I took seemed magnified. A small misstep, a dropped hanger, or an accidentally brushed sleeve felt like the entire store was judging me. Some customers whispered, eyes darting between me and my daughter. I felt exposed, vulnerable, and out of place. The salespeople moved elegantly around the racks, expertly assisting the wealthy clientele, while I tried to blend into the background. Then, a loud chuckle echoed behind me. I turned slightly and saw a man whispering to his companion while pointing at my worn shoes. Heat rose to my cheeks. My daughter tugged at my hand, sensing my embarrassment. But then, the boutique owner stepped forward. Suddenly, the room's energy shifted. The laughter faded, replaced by silence. Everyone's attention turned to us. I realized, in that moment, that this was no ordinary encounter. Something was about to happen that would make everyone rethink what they thought they knew. The owner walked toward us, his posture confident, his eyes scanning the room. I braced myself, expecting judgment, confrontation, or dismissal. He stopped a few feet away and studied me for a long moment. The silence was heavy. Everyone in the boutique froze, their whispers cut off. Then, he smiled. Not a polite smile. Not a fake, superficial one. It was a knowing, deliberate smile that made everyone lean in, curious. "You must be tired," he said softly. "And carrying more than just shopping bags, I see." A murmur ran through the boutique. People exchanged confused glances. I didn't understand what he meant, until he took a step closer, motioning for us to follow. He led us to a private area of the store, away from all eyes. I felt my heart race. I expected rejection, humiliation, maybe even ridicule. Instead, he gestured to a selection of clothing, accessories, and items I never dreamed of touching, let alone owning. "This is for you and your daughter," he said. "Consider it a gift, and a reminder that not everyone judges what they don't understand." Gasps echoed behind us as staff and customers realized what was happening. The owner had completely turned the tables, and all the whispers, the laughter, the judgment, evaporated in an instant. I stood there, stunned, my daughter clinging to my hand. I had expected shame and scorn. Instead, we were met with generosity and understanding. The owner's move changed everything. It wasn't just about the gifts. It was about showing the room, and me, that appearances don't define a person's worth. People began to whisper, eyes wide with awe. The very same crowd that had laughed at us moments ago now watched in silence, realizing the power of empathy and perspective. As we left the boutique, I looked back at the owner. He nodded at us with a quiet confidence, a subtle reminder that kindness can shock the world more than cruelty ever could. In that moment, I realized something profound. The world may judge you in an instant, but one act of courage, one act of kindness, can change everything. Everyone in the boutique had witnessed it. I had walked in struggling and tired, invisible in their eyes. And yet, the owner's move left everyone speechless, including me. Just when I thought the day couldn't get any more surreal, the boutique owner motioned for us to follow him behind a sleek, velvet curtain. My heart raced. Every step felt heavier than the last, like the air itself was holding its breath. Customers stopped browsing, staff froze mid-task, and even the usual background music seemed to fade into silence. He led us to a small, private room. The walls were lined with the finest clothing and accessories I'd ever seen, everything shining under the perfectly balanced lighting. I could barely breathe. This was a world I'd only glimpsed in magazines, a life that seemed impossibly out of reach. Then, he turned toward us. For the first time, I noticed the weight behind his eyes, the careful observation, the subtle understanding that went beyond appearances. "You've had a long journey," he said slowly. "Not many people would walk through that door with your courage, with your strength, with everything you carry on your shoulders." I opened my mouth to respond, but words failed me. I wasn't expecting praise. I wasn't expecting kindness. I certainly wasn't expecting what came next. He stepped closer and gestured toward a meticulously wrapped box on the counter. Inside was a beautiful handbag, one that could easily cost a month of my rent, and an envelope addressed to me. I hesitated, unsure if I should take it. Everyone else in the boutique watched quietly, their faces a mixture of shock, disbelief, and awe. The owner's voice lowered, almost a whisper. "This isn't just a gift. It's a reminder that the world doesn't have to define you by what it sees. You've worked hard. You've struggled. And today, I want you to know that your efforts, your courage, your love, they are seen." My daughter tugged at my hand, her wide eyes sparkling. "I knew you could do it, Daddy," she whispered. Tears filled my eyes, blurring the lights and colors around me. The suspense had been unbearable. Every laugh, every judgmental glance, every whispered comment in the store had led to this moment. And now, the entire boutique, the very same people who had silently mocked me, witnessed the revelation. The owner didn't just hand us gifts. He handed us dignity, recognition, and a reminder of what truly matters. I realized then that the real lesson wasn't the luxury, the applause, or even the shock of the moment. The lesson was the power of kindness, empathy, and timing. A single act can change the course of someone's life, and sometimes, the most unexpected people, even a struggling, tired dad, are the ones who leave the deepest impression. As we walked out of the boutique, I held my daughter's hand tightly. The world had watched us. And in that moment, everything had shifted. Everyone was speechless. And I finally understood, some surprises are worth waiting for.